The moment the Filipino teenager steps onto the AGT stage, the entire atmosphere shifts into silent anticipation. He walks slowly toward the center, his hands slightly trembling but his eyes filled with determination. The bright spotlight hits him from behind, creating a soft glow around his silhouette that makes him look almost angelic. The massive stage feels intimidating, yet he stands tall, trying to steady his breathing. The judges look up from their seats, each reacting differently. Heidi smiles warmly, Sophia leans in with curiosity, Howie nods encouragingly, and Simon Cowell studies him closely with a focused, unreadable expression. The audience murmurs softly, unsure of what kind of performance they are about to witness. Despite the pressure, the boy takes one last deep breath, gripping the microphone with both hands as he prepares himself. The camera zooms in on his nervous but hopeful face, capturing the mix of fear and courage inside him. The stage lights shift into a calm blue tone, matching the emotional tension in the air. In that quiet second before he sings, it feels like the entire theater is holding its breath, waiting to see whether this shy Filipino singer will rise to the moment or be swallowed by the stage. As the Filipino boy releases the very first note of "I Have Nothing," the entire room reacts instantly. The note is powerful, clean, and unexpectedly mature for someone his age. The audience freezes mid-breath, and a sudden hush spreads across the theater. The camera cuts to Simon Cowell, whose eyes widen as he leans forward, clearly taken by surprise. The judges exchange quick glances, each of them silently acknowledging that something extraordinary is happening. The boy's voice fills the hall with a richness that echoes far beyond the speakers, vibrating with emotion and control. His posture changes, confidence begins to replace his earlier nerves as he realizes the crowd is captivated. Some audience members place their hands over their mouths in disbelief, while others whisper excitedly to the person next to them. The lighting brightens gradually, bathing him in soft white beams that enhance the intensity of the moment. Every word he sings carries weight, drawing everyone deeper into the performance. By the end of the first line, the atmosphere has transformed completely. What began as curiosity has turned into stunned admiration, and it's clear to everyone in the room that this performance is going to be unforgettable. As the song builds toward its emotional peak, the Filipino singer prepares for the iconic high notes that define "I Have Nothing." His breathing steadies, his stance widens, and the entire theater seems to tighten around him. When he finally unleashes the powerful chorus, his voice soars with astonishing clarity and strength, filling every corner of the auditorium. The lights behind him shift into golden beams, creating a dramatic halo effect that makes him look larger than life on stage. The audience reacts immediately, many rise to their feet mid-performance, unable to hold back their excitement. Some gasp, others cheer, and a wave of energy rushes across the room. The judges sit frozen in awe. Heidi covers her mouth in pure disbelief, Sophia's eyes widen with admiration, and Howie shakes his head with a smile, impressed by the boy's vocal precision. Simon Cowell, usually stoic, leans back slightly, stunned by the sheer power and control the young singer displays. The boy closes his eyes as he hits the biggest note of the song, pouring raw emotion into every second. In that moment, it's clear he isn't just performing, he's living the song. The crowd feels it deeply, and the performance instantly transforms from impressive to iconic. As the final note of the song fades into the air, there is a split second of absolute silence, almost as if the entire theater is still processing what just happened. Then, like an explosion, the audience erupts into cheers. People leap to their feet instantly, clapping, shouting, and celebrating the extraordinary performance they just witnessed. The entire venue is filled with roaring applause, echoing off the walls with overwhelming energy. The Filipino singer stands frozen for a moment, his chest rising fast as he tries to catch his breath, his eyes shining with emotion. He looks stunned, almost unable to believe the reaction. On the judges' panel, every judge rises for a standing ovation. Heidi waves her hands excitedly, Sophia smiles brightly while applauding, and Howie nods proudly toward the young singer. But the moment that hits hardest is Simon Cowell, standing tall, smiling fully, and clapping with genuine admiration. It's a rare gesture that sends the crowd into an even louder frenzy. The camera cuts to the boy's family in the audience, tears streaming down their faces as they cheer wildly for him. The lights glow in warm golden tones, highlighting the emotional magic of the moment. For the young singer, this standing ovation feels like the dream he's waited for all his life coming true. As the applause finally settles, the theater grows quiet, allowing the emotional weight of the moment to sink in. The Filipino singer stands center stage, still overwhelmed, wiping away a small tear as he waits for the judges to speak. Simon Cowell leans forward, his expression softer than usual, and begins with a pause, letting the tension build. When he finally speaks, his voice is warm and sincere. He tells the boy that what he just delivered wasn't merely a performance, but a moment that will stay with people forever. Simon explains that Whitney Houston is one of the hardest artists to cover, yet the young singer managed to honor her while adding something uniquely his own. Heidi praises his control and emotional depth, Sophia calls the performance magical, and Howie expresses how proud he is to witness such raw talent at such a young age. The boy listens with wide, grateful eyes, barely able to contain his emotions. In the audience, his family cries openly, clutching each other with joy. Simon ends his feedback by saying the singer has a voice that deserves the world's attention. The boy lowers his head in disbelief, smiling through tears. At that moment, he knows his life has changed, his dream no longer feels distant, but finally within reach.